Good morning and welcome to another edition of Lawrence Live. This morning I'm joined with two very important members of our community. Our Board of Education members, Mr. Dick Freegee and Mr. Reginald McGregor, who are our two newly elected school board members. So we want to welcome these two gentlemen to the district. As a matter of fact, they've been on the job for about 2 months. So, gentlemen, how's it going? How's it going as new board members?
It is going great. It's everything that I hoped it would be so far, and I'm enjoying it.
Yes, it's going good. A lot of information, a lot of responsibilities, but it's worthwhile because I get to see firsthand how people care about the district. So it's really rewarding.
Right, really
everything
rewarding.
I expected.
Now, you think on a large scale, the school corporation, we're made up of 15,000 students, but I think as board members, you now learn that we have about 2,000 employees, 22 buildings. So it's an enormous operation that takes place to educate our young people, and you guys get to sit at the top to help make those very difficult decisions. Let's talk a little bit about both of you. We'll start with Dick. Tell us a little bit about your background as it relates to the school, because you both live in the school community. So
Yes.
share a little
Yes.
bit about yourselves.
Well, I grew up in Indianapolis, went to Purdue University for undergrad and got an engineering degree, and then I went down to IU in Bloomington
All right.
to get my law degree. So both sides. I've got 5 kids. 2 have already gone through Lawrence Township schools, graduated from Lawrence Central, and then I have 3 kids that are still in
Wow.
Lawrence Township. 2 are at Lawrence North High School, and my daughter, the only girl of the 5 kids, she's an 8th grader at Fall Creek Valley.
All right, all right. Mr. McGregor, what about you?
Born and raised down in Tennessee, so I have a little southern accent, just a little bit. Actually, the son of a teacher who taught for over 30 years, so I've been around education and the importance of educating all my life. In fact, as a kid, I remember being in PTA meetings and wondering why are we talking about this and what's going on. And somehow it's full circle. So I went off to college and pursued engineering. But actually, coming out of high school, I wanted to be a chemistry teacher, a football coach, and maybe an assistant principal, maybe. And somehow the money was go do engineering. So I've had the opportunity now as an engineer. I work for a major aerospace company, Rolls-Royce, where we make airplane engines. But part of that is also understanding the future workforce and the preparation for students coming into the workforce. So now I have an exciting role where I'm part of the engineering education to make sure students understand what it means to pursue these STEM disciplines. I have 2 daughters. I have a daughter who's now her second year at Ball State, who graduated from Lawrence Central, so she was in performing arts. So one of the things I am proud of, being in the district, being part of the pit crew, working with the band parents and getting engaged in that area. My youngest daughter is a senior at LC, and she's a cheerleader, so now I have the privilege of the honor of being a cheer dad. So it is always fun to work with the parents and see the students. And the thing I like the most is, as you get involved and be involved, the students latch on to you. So I have now I have close to 23 daughters who all are part of the cheer. And when I was a pit dad, I had close to 150 sons and daughters. So it's very exciting.
That's great. That's great. So both of you are certainly grounded and solid within the community, but something had to really push you and make you want to run for the school board, because you guys have to give up a lot of your evenings. You also have to give up your time meeting with the old superintendent right here. So, tell me, what made you run for the school board?
Well, that's an interesting question because it's not something that I thought about doing actually until last May. A couple of people came to me, talked to me about Jeff McKean not running again for his seat, and they asked me to consider running because they thought I would do a good job. And I'm a partner at Faegre Baker Daniels. It's a law firm here in Indianapolis, and so I have a fairly full plate. And so I thought, well, hold on for a second. I haven't thought about this before, but let me think about it, do a little investigation. And so I know I met with you early on and talked with a number of other people in the community. And so the reason I really ran then is because I became so energized by what I saw in the community. I already felt like I knew a lot about our schools because of my 5 kids.
Yes.
But I started learning even more and more. And the more I learned, the more excited I got about the opportunity to serve, and more energized I became. And so that's why I ended up deciding to run. And it was a great experience. The campaign was even more energizing to get to know even more people, met with most of the principals, a number of the school teachers and all along the way, and other people in the community. So that's why I ended up running. And I'm glad I did.
Mr. McGriff?
Similar to Dick, I had no idea. Well, I had no thoughts of. I consider myself a busy person with full plate, but I had the opportunity to meet with Kathy. Very I had the utmost respect for, and she was just talking to me about the district where it is and where the district needs to go. And I was talking to her about some of the things that I would see as being part of the band parents and being part of other activities. And she said there's some things you can do to have a greater impact on the entire district. So I actually started looking into that and thought, wow, okay, this is bigger than just Lawrence Central, Belzer. It's bigger than that. So, like Dick, so I had the opportunity to go out and just start asking different parents, meeting at different schools, and actually, I wish everybody could get that opportunity. I wish every parent and anybody who's thinking about coming to this district, you just have to go out and talk and see it firsthand. Impressed with things that's taking place, even today, to see these young people here sitting behind cameras filming me at that age. It's just impressive. It's just so many wonderful things that's taking place in the district. And I realized, though, but we need to make sure we have policies in place that all students have access to these wonderful things taking place, and we continue to support our wonderful teachers and administrators in this district, and we all succeed. Everybody succeeds.
So you gentlemen are definitely well grounded in your philosophies as far as board members. You won an election, and so the community certainly benefits from that. And I think students and people in the community must understand, in order to have a great school district, we have to have the foundation laid by having great school board members and participation from our community, and we obviously have that in great leadership. But I just want to close it out, because as a board member, you've got something burning that you want to do, your legacy. So each of you, I just like you to share a little bit about, because that will give the community as well as our teachers and students an opportunity to understand where you see the district going as you go through your 4-year term here as a member of our board. Dick?
Okay. Well, a couple things I'd observe from that question. Number one, if I just was going to use one word to describe where I hope the school district's going, is upward. And so that's the word I would use. And when I say upward, we're not starting from a low place. We're in a very good place in this district. And that's one of the things that I was so energized about as I saw what was going on during the campaign. We are in a really good place. And like Reggie, I think if every person in the community would run for school board and go through the process that he and I did, you'd feel so good about where we are. But still, we can do even better.
Yes.
And I know that's part of your agenda, Dr. Smith, to do even better. And so I see us going upward. And, when you say legacy, I never look at these things in terms of me or my legacy, because I always view things as a collective, collaboration, and a teamwork process. And so, I would hope that people would just say about me at the end of my service when I leave is he was present, he was engaged, he listened, and he brought some good judgment to the process.
Absolutely.
But what I hope really people talk about is not me, but they talk about where the district is when I leave, and that the district is in an even better place when I leave than it is now. And I would measure that by our students are achieving even greater than they are today. They have even more opportunities. Those opportunities are even more accessible to more kids. There's teachers, even more so today, that are flocking to be part of what we're doing here, and that the ones we have are staying. And that also families are wanting to come to Lawrence Township, and we grew last year, as you, of course, are very well of. I think we're going to continue to grow, and I think we'll get at some point where we can't open our doors anymore because there's so many families that are clamoring to be in this destination district. And the final thing I would say I hope when I leave is that the greater community in Lawrence Township is even more engaged
Yes.
than it is today, and that the entire community of Lawrence views this very proudly. These are our schools, and we are so proud and happy of where we're at. So that's what I would say.
Mr. McGregor?
You know, I think Dick summed it up very well. In fact, this is why you don't go after attorneys. You don't speak after attorneys. One thing, though, as we talk about legacy, I've been taught all my life is to serve. You have to be a servant. And part of that is embedding our culture, the importance of serving one another. As Dick said, it's really not about me as a person, but it's more about how the district looks when we are done, or in fact, while we sitting in these seats. One thing I do hope that people begin to see us and begin to become more engaged with the entire process, more than just when there's an issue at the school, but just to be more proactive. I hope when it's time when my seat is over, I have 10 to 20 people asking, how can I serve in the capacity you serve from what you exemplified as a board member? Part of that is because as we talk about our district, it's really bigger than that. We're talking about our community and where we are as a society. We have an obligation to not only serve young people, we have an obligation to uplift them and show them that there is a better way to live and there's a different quality of life. I hope not just sitting in the seat, but I hope when people just see me in the grocery store or just wherever the case may be, they feel proud of what we're doing as a district. I'm proud to be part of what we're doing because I see where we headed. When I look into the eyes of when I had the opportunity to go to Amy Bell, and I was looking at these little wonderful 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds, and I thought, man, if we could just keep that spirit all the way through high school, we've done a wonderful job. And I hope the legacy is that we keep that spirit of students being engaged, students having fun, and students wanting to achieve. And that's the thing I hope we do above all things. So thank you for having us, Dr. Smith. Dick is good serving with you.
Indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're in good hands as our 5-member board, and these 2 gentlemen are certainly leaders among that group. And what I would say to everyone is that the school district is made up of the community. It starts with the Board of Education, our staff members, but most importantly, our students and our families out there. So we should all be proud to be a part of Lawrence Township Schools. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us for this segment of Lawrence Live, and certainly come back with us next time. Next time we're going to have some additional guests. We're going to talk a little bit about sports the next time. So thank you and have a great day.